finish this layer. Sup NBL. Drew, Ambrose, Noodles, Frogs, Frog for Nickel, Silas, the Hobo Joe, Sebi, Flame Sword. What's up, everybody? Doing pretty well. Good night, Baleo, Michael. Yes, Mason, welcome as well. What's up, Keegan? Nicholas? Messy Bean? Did not know that. Did not know Pepsi had its own military. Good night, Flame Sword. Oh yeah, I did notice that. You do have a profile picture. I noticed it earlier. What's up, Glenn Plays, Max S. Quibel? Oh, military. Or Navy. Oh yeah, I was actually wondering what that was. It's really hard to see it, but that makes a lot more sense. It's like very blurry, but I mean, I can kind of decipher it. Is your dog's favorite food noodles? God dang it. Here we go again. It's gonna shoot up and then shoot back down. Like usual. My drop frames is gonna shoot up and then shoot back down. Like usual. Yeah, it is quite fortunate that I was at VLB that I got featured on iFunny. So Avery. Too bad a lot of the people that came from iFunny are actually leaving. Not a lot of them, but a few of them. I'm not surprised though. A lot of them just kind of wanted to come and subscribe to support and then leave later. They were disappointed of you because of your English grades? What the heck? So, what standards do they have? It's kind of unfortunate when parents and stuff like that usually criticize a child for, or yeah, their child for grades and stuff like that, even though not every person does well or can do well in school, depending on how the school is, and like just the formula for schooling just actually favors more people than some others. It's quite unfortunate, to be honest. I wish it was more structured towards more individual types of people than just a system that benefits only certain types and it's just copy and paste in general. At least I'm talking more about US school system and maybe UK system as well. What's up, Macman and Gaming Master? Yeah, this is quite unfortunate. I know, it's crazy how old the school system is. Even updated school systems, it still is not that great. Like even though school systems have evolved slightly, the actual structure hasn't at all, to be honest with you. How do you type? What's up, Torrent? You can type, look up CS Joseph, type how to type yourself and others, and then look up his type grid. If you want to do that accurately, that is. Like my type technically really does not benefit. Actually, it benefits one of the least, to be honest with you. At least in terms of the general school system. It depends on the teacher though sometimes, for my type. Generally though, I'd have to say the school system structure just does not benefit my type. Just learning self-taught is literally the best way I learn by far. Almost anything, to be honest with you. What's up, dub name? And Austin Brown. What's up, Aiden? It's even worse considering I have literally like it makes it worse I don't even have like TE or SI, which are like the dominant functions of school systems. Because you can use SI as past memories of certain events and just knowledge, I guess, in general. Or actually no, it's past events and then you can use reference points, TE reference points of different subjects and stuff like that. And you can just basically read. TE users can literally just read. Yeah, pretty much. Like types TE users can literally just read and do amazing, to be honest, in school. They benefit the most from being taught by others. What's up, Sea cucumber. Nice. What's up, little pizza boy? And Bobby. Forgot to say her name. And Calidor. Geograph. What's up? Like, it's not even the technology, to be honest with you. It's just the way they structured education, or how they're structuring education. It's too structured, in my opinion, than what it should be. To be honest, it's actually getting worse because of education becoming more of a business. I'm talking to colleges specifically. Education's more of a business than it's actual an education, to be honest with you. It's like a cash grab at this point. What's up, garlic bread? What enchants are you doing? Pick efficiency 5, I'm breaking 3, silk touch 1, and mending 1. Now, for armor, it depends on what you want to do with it. I actually recommend getting each type of protection on your armor, depending on what your armor is. So like, protection 4 on your chest plate, fire protection on your leggings, all protection 4 as well. All of these have to be level 4. So like, protection 4 would be on your chest plate. Leggings would be like fire protection. Boots would be feather falling. You know, all the max boots enchants. I recommend Depth Strider, not Frostwalker. Boots, probably like projectile protection, and then I don't know, helmet. You know, max boot, maxed helmet. And yeah, it's all 4 of the. Yeah, speaking for the US, I'm talking more about the US system. Actually, Western or just, What do you mean if, well, so like would you go to science class if your teacher isn't even a scientist? It's not exactly what I mean. It's not actually about the credentials or anything like that. It's just more about, I think schooling needs to be at least a little bit more personalized. And if everybody knew other people's types, you can actually form careers around that person's type and stuff like that. Like proper career paths, proper career. So the student doesn't either screw themselves over or the school system itself doesn't screw them over, especially high school. At least typing should be quite important for high school specifically. You can also teach different styles dependent on the type as well. Like TI users could be more self-independent types. More self-independent teaching, I guess, depending on what it is. And you can even do like specific subjects tailored to what they like. Preferences. I'm not on 1.16. Like, I'm not even talking about college either. I'm just talking about like the way the school system actually is just kind of structured in general. Because to be honest here, the integrity of the US system is not that great. Thomas. Thank you, Thomas. Wow. Yeah, you need to go to Google to change it. Go to settings, go to Google, and then change. I think you can just click on your icon if you click on your account. School is kind of inefficient, especially college system. It's very inefficient for what it's worth, at least for the U.S. sake, U.S.'s system sake, specifically U.S. I don't know about other college, other countries when it comes to the college, but it doesn't have to be completely individualistic, but it has to be at least type individual or type based on somebody's type, at least. Like you can technically make full classrooms based off of one type. You can even do like social interaction classes and stuff like that based on certain types. Like if the US or pretty much everywhere got a good foundation of the types, you can actually do like golden pairs, how certain types don't interact that well with each other, stuff like that. It'd be pretty interesting. You can even specify different classes based off of what the type is. Like you could even do like take the compatibility of different types, and tailor it to specific classes if you wanted to do something like that. I guess that's one way to do it. Like certain types, you can actually just spit information to people and then just... Some types can actually benefit from that. Yeah, just certain types in general actually benefit from the US system, but it's not that many. Not all types, at least. It's literally cognitive biasy. In general. Profile pictures don't update till later. It takes a while for them to actually update. It's kind of unfortunate, I don't know why. Alright, see ya, RC. That's interesting. Like some types, even like trades, like some types benefit amazing from trades in general. If you want to go in a trade and you're suitable for that trade, depending on your type. I mean, obviously trades are very specific, so you wouldn't actually have to worry too much about trades. But if you were having somebody decide on a career choice and you looked at their type, you can figure out what they could be pretty good at, or what they're naturally good at, depending on what type they are, like using the four sides of the mind. What's up, Adrian? I've never had a true time where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna give up. I've never had that kind of time. I've taken breaks, don't get me wrong, but I've never actually said to give up or anything like that. What's up, Jaybird? Alright, let's see. What's up, Nicole? So like my type specifically, like my type could learn technically the trades if they want to go into that path. Computer programming could be one something, and tailor those specific classes to that type if they want to go into it. It'd be very hard for my type to convince anything though, because if I critic and I hero, oh god, yeah, good luck convincing my type of anything, to be honest with you. It's very difficult. In general. Literally psychology, like more typing, research over it, I guess. Kind of research. I think it's more of INFPs though, or NFPs in general. Did I really just do that? What's up, Christopher Landra? It's like they try to cram a bunch of information as much as possible just because it's somehow mandatory, even though some of the stuff. And here's the other thing, is that for some reason, teachers and stuff like that, I don't really blame the teachers, to be honest with you, for this, but unless they're very honest. Like I had a coach that was extremely honest about the school system, but he was, not him, but he, not, oh, god dang it. Most teachers usually say, "Oh, you're gonna use this later." It's like, okay. It's like, can you explain, like, certain types of careers and stuff like that use this? Or actually, most careers don't even use it. Usually, it's classes in college that use it, and then you just don't use it again. I'm not degrees are like that. I just don't like the fact that they kind of assume that all teachers or all degrees kind of use this later on, or college systems use this later on. It's really infuriating. I mean very obscure things. I don't mean like everything, but it's just kind of annoying. They kind of pass off high school. It's like they literally just pass off high school subjects to say, oh yeah, you're gonna learn this in college, you're gonna have to use this in college, and then they just say, oh yeah, you're gonna use this in a career, even though you technically don't use it. And it's really annoying when there's so much competition for a degree, but they still say, oh yeah, you're gonna get a safe, stable job. Obviously, there are certain careers that do that for some reason, even though they're technically not that safe compared to, like, I don't know, healthcare, even though that's very competitive. Still very competitive on its own, but it's still, you can find a job practically anywhere. What's up, Fabian? You cannot, because it's a solo world. Honestly, my handwriting's okay. I mean, I have to take it pretty slow if I want to write, decent. But honestly, it's pretty sloppy. If I have to write fast, it's really annoying because I can't really, honestly, write that quick. I can write pretty decent if I really can take my time on it, but most of the time, it's pretty structured. usual. I just wish they didn't build up college so crazily. It would solve a lot of problems if they said like if they kind of showed more careers, if that makes sense, out there. What's up, Daniel Vaughn? I do not remember your name actually, or your profile picture. People who change their profile pictures, it's a little bit harder to remember if you did change it, that is. I'm just gonna mention that. So if you do change your profile picture, it's a little bit harder for me to recognize you. It's like putting a name to a face and you changing your face. Or like putting on something, like a disguise or something like that. I don't know, something small. Yeah, good luck having me recognize you because it's really difficult. Even then, I don't remember names that well specifically. I can remember faces actually really well, and voices. Most of the time. Voices actually stick out to me more than probably anything. I won't be able to pick up your name immediately, but I can to a degree. Like, there's a person I saw at the store that I'm near. I haven't seen him in years, and I remember his voice. Like, very easily. I mean, I know I was in athletics with him, but still. For a while, at least. Like, okay, if you come to my streams constantly, I will remember your name eventually. I'm just saying, like, I will eventually remember your name, if you come to my streams enough, but if you, like, somehow, like, come, like, 1 or 2 times, or if you come inconsistently, I am not gonna remember you that much. Especially when there's new people coming in, that kinda makes it more annoying. Or harder to do it. Jeez, man. 9 hours? Of course I remember you, dumb name. I mean, I've seen you on Kilo streams many times. Oh, don't worry about it, C-Buy. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. I mean, I will eventually, like, it's not that hard oh my god, it's not that hard for me to remember y'all's names. As long as you don't change your profile picture, then it would be so much easier to remember your names. If you do, then it's gonna take me longer to remember your name. CB? Okay, I'll do CB. Nice. Doing pretty well, cool boy. Alright, any other place? Nice. It honestly, this streaming in general has kind of helped me. I don't know how practical it is for me personally, for streaming. Like, I'm not too sure how good it's gonna help with like social skills in general. But yeah, I'm not too sure how practical it's gonna be when it comes to talking to people and stuff like that. But whatever, it should help a little bit at least. Come on. Oh yeah, I remember calling you Kamikaze Cause for some reason. I have no idea why I called it like that. Layer 5 should be not now, but next stream. Sorry, so I'm on layer 7, so it's gonna be layer 7, 654, so. It should be one stream each, because honestly, these layers with the lava take honestly forever. It takes like 3 hours to clear the lava, or 3 hours to clear the section with lava. It's really annoying. What's up, Mad Pillow? Toffee? Toffee sounds familiar. That name. Very familiar, actually. What's up, Fabian? It's a solo project. Like, compare 2 hours versus 3. Like, it takes a whole hour to get rid of this lava, I'll be honest with you. Even though it shouldn't take me that long. I think if I didn't stream, it wouldn't take me that long. But streaming kind of slightly holds me back a little bit. Because I have to focus on chat and stream at the same time. So I'm trying to figure out how to manage streaming and doing the project at the same... God damn it. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to balance chat with work. I don't know. I don't really follow politics that much, to be honest with you. Nice. I know a lot of people watch my streams at nighttime. To be fair, this project isn't really about having fun. Well, I mean, technically it is. I like just doing projects for fun anyway. So it's like this project in particular. It's not really about the project itself. It's about this particular project. It's about just doing projects in general. To be honest with you, it's fun. It does make it pretty fun though. I'll tell you that much right now. Streaming has enhance the experience of this this project, and because I get to actually upload share the journey as well to other people, because I kind of feel bad to some degree of not recording or streaming of the project, but at the same time, like, I just kind of wanted to get it done, to be honest. It's kind of a catch-22, to be honest. What's up, Jake? I'm almost halfway done. The next 50% should go by pretty quickly though. So even though I'm only 50%, the next 50% should go by fairly quickly. Especially since I know what the heck I'm doing at this point. By 2-something thousand hours or whatever. Oh god, I almost fell right into that. Cause I don't know, 2-something thousand hours, I think, on this project. I could be wrong about that. Don't quote me on the 2,000 between 2,500 hours or something like that. That's my rough estimate, is around 2,500 hours. Like, it's not really this project specifically, it's just projects in general. I get quite a bit of satisfaction. It's either skill-based things or it's like big project. That's pretty much it. If I can work on either one of those, I'll be fine. Obviously in the future, once I start trying to make some changes or stuff like that in I guess society in general, or at least help other people do stuff. For now, I'm just kind of chilling doing this project until I'm done. And then I'll work on the other things. That's kind of why I don't want to do YouTube after this, because I want to do something that's a little bit more useful, I guess. Now I'm just kind of gathering knowledge at the moment to fire on to the world. Because the more truths that I have, the more unstoppable I can become. What's up, Adam? I love that you referenced that comment earlier. What's up, Real Juice Mundo? Rip. What's up, victim of Gip? Not perfectly straight, just not bent over. I don't know how to explain. I have seen the Discord. I'll just sit in this position. It actually forces me for my back to be straight. The stream just died, didn't it? Okay, what the heck happened to the stream? Gotta love this internet, don't you? I think all the names are blank if I remember correctly. Or something like that. I haven't seen it in a couple of hours, but I'm not too sure if anything else has changed. It really does have phases, doesn't it? I think this channel in general is just phase over phase. It's phaseception. This channel, the stream, and the Discord all have phases. I wonder how many people are gonna know about this once I get to 50%, or how about this, once I get to like 95% or something. God dang it, give me a second. be back. Maybe. Depends on if I get a call back or not. Honestly, kind of one of the reasons I don't really speak too much, because I really don't know what to say, to be honest. Most of the time. I think I've like exhausted myself from rants at this point. I think I went through almost every rant I could possibly think about ranting about, to be honest. Like, I really don't know what else to talk about. That's why I'm not too worried about commenting that much, because honestly, I really don't know what to talk about. Like, I've basically discussed everything that I've learned in the past, like, 6 months. Something like that. Or more. Actually, less, I mean, sorry. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. What? Screw it. I don't know. I don't honestly care that much about it. I guess it's okay. I mean... Hello? Okay, I was about to say. I know, that's why I hate small talk, because I hate talking about small things like people's daily activities every single day. That's why I hate small talk that much. I think the funny thing is I can almost always relate personality typing things to whatever anybody talks about, to be honest with you. It's kind of funny. Like, I can almost always bring up personality types, or typing in general, with whatever subject's happening. It's kind of funny. Most of the time. Actually, most of this stuff, I think I've learned this science like for about a month or two. Maybe closer to 3 months, to be honest, but I don't really know. That little what? That, like that thing that... I don't know what you're talking... Wait, actually I think I know what you're talking about, never mind. I don't know why I do that, actually. Some weird habits that I have when it comes to... You know what's funny? If I listen enough to one person, I can actually talk like them. It's weird. Like, if I'm around a person enough, I will literally talk like them. Probably not rate anybody, to be honest. I don't really actually like the idea of rating, to be honest with you. It's not really my cup of tea. It's one of the reasons why I never actually mention rating ever. course, my stream died again. Oh, it's back. I don't know why it's disconnecting. Like, usually it's pretty slow, but dang, it's disconnecting. A lot. It's like there's no one problem that happens every time. It's literally like different problems every single time I stream, which is kind of annoying. So Leon, you are welcome, and thank you as well. That's kind of one of my missions of this project, is actually to inspire others to do, not even just projects in general, it could be anything, to be honest. Future of space travel. I don't know that much about space travel, to be honest with you. I've never really, I never really dove that much into space travel. Actually, science in general. I've never really. Also, I just realized I finished. I guess I could. I don't really know what to talk about, or not talk about. I don't know what to mention for space travel. I don't really know how to insult you, to be honest with you. To be fair, I don't really like insulting people. I like exposing people, which technically is insulting, but it really isn't at the same time. Insulting's kind of cheap, not gonna lie. I would have to say insulting in general is kind of a cop-out, when it comes to situations. It just keeps building negativity. It's like negative. You know that concept negative help? It's literally just negative negative. It's just complete negative. It solves nothing. I can't really insult you, dude. There's a lot of cop-outs out there that people don't realize. I guess this is kind of a topic. I guess I can talk more about societal problems. Expose you. To be fair, I don't really know your type that well though, so. Yes, water. Cheesecake. Cheesecake is alright, honestly. I only do exposures if somebody actually needs an exposure. Yeah, pretty much. It's pretty much the only time I really do exposures is when somebody absolutely needs some kind of exposure. Oh yeah, I do know about that. Expose myself. Um, I mean, I technically did one time. I guess I could just talk about my insecurities and stuff like that. To a point. Obviously performance anxiety is definitely one thing that kind of consumes me. I have trouble starting things, but I don't have any problems finishing this. To be honest, I didn't really have any problems starting this though for some reason. I really don't know why. I guess I could talk about like the fact that I could be very I've never been very great at obviously small talk is one thing. I guess when it comes to maybe when I think of empathy, I think of more like super extreme empathy, but mine's more negative empathy. Empathy's really hard for me to actually like implement when it comes to the fiery sort of truth of me in general. It's hard for me to actually implement empathy, to be perfectly honest. Even though I'm quite empathetic, I just don't know when to do it. Hypocrisy, literally me, just like I try so hard. I guess this is one of my biggest exposures is the fact that I try the hardest without actually, sorry, not exposing, being hypocritical towards things in general. Like even if somebody deserves what they actually need to have, I still won't do it if it's something I'm hypocritical about. Introverts are accepted. It's just the fact that it's just that introverts obviously will be overshadowed because introverts are responding types. And extroverts are initiating. They're just more overshadowed, which makes sense. To be fair, it's usually the introverts that actually change more than actual extroverts, to be honest with you. In general, I'd have to say. Give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. I know that was a long call. Oh god, my voice. I know that was a very long call, but oh well. It's not like I haven't done that before anyway, so it's like, oh well. Kinda wish you would call a little bit earlier. Oh yeah, 190 hours, that's nice. Yeah, sorry about that. That took some time. I didn't expect to actually talk that long, to be honest with you. What's up, RTDG? Okay, that's just weird. Why the heck did that flash? It was crazy. I somehow still had 20 viewers even though I was not talking. Interesting. Oops. I know. I know you've been waiting. I've been kind of reading the chat. This is gonna take a little bit longer than I expected. It's already 12:30, which is gonna be crazy. Give me a second. Honestly not surprised, especially the time zone you're in, Raffi. Makes sense. I actually considered trying to do naps instead of full-on fudge sleeping. I thought about that for a little bit. I don't know how useful that would be, or how practical. Doing naps throughout the day instead of full-fledged sleeping. You can still go into deep sleeps pretty quickly if you do that. I'm not too sure how that works, like how practical, or not even just practical, just like realistic that would be. Because it's like, how do you take naps without going into like 5 hours of sleep or something like that? How was that possible? Would you just set an alarm or something like that? Get your body prepared to do 30-minute naps or stuff like that? I was right about your type, Ace Key. Where you'd EISTP. Yeah, my pickaxe is about to break. Interesting. Lucid dreaming is something I'd actually consider getting into. What the heck? Nice. Deductive reasoning really helps, honestly. And I'm pretty good at doing that. I'm pretty sure you are as well, because you have TI Heroes, so I mean, you'd be really good at that by default, so. I've done that before. I usually don't have too many problems on the back, though, to be honest with you. What's up, Rinks? Rinksons? I have no idea how to say that. I'll just go with Rink. I know I've had my neck hurt sometimes. Shh. Sorry. Stop, please. You're fine. Give me a second. I can crack my wrist on command for some reason. And my fingers. Yeah, it's a dog. And my neck on command for some reason. I don't understand. And my ankle on command. The neck isn't really too prominent though, to be honest with you. It's really hard to do. Like, I can pretty much crack every bone in my hand. Do you know how many bones there are in the hand and the wrist? It's really weird. Well, you said it was your dog eating food. Jeez. Sounds pretty brutal. Oh yes, I really do feel old sometimes, to be honest with you. I'm basically like, I have an old soul in a 19-year-old body, to be honest with you. Well, partially 19. It's like, it's really bad. It's like I feel old mentally and physically, even though I'm only 19. I think it's just the way I perceived, I guess. That distant look that I usually have. It's pretty... Oh. To be fair, my type is literally the source of wisdom, so I mean, I guess that's something. Talk about loneliness. Honestly, I really don't feel that lonely most of the time, to be perfectly honest. I think at one point it's gonna hit me hard, but at the moment, honestly, not really. Rafi, I'm still guessing you don't know what your type is. Are you sure you're not an ISFP or INFP? You literally talk just like an INFP friend. Like almost to the, just literally to the point. Like I'm pretty sure if both of y'all talked, you would not see who is who. I know obviously talking on text is completely different, but still, certain types do actually stand out in text than others. I can almost deduct types based off of how you type most of the time. Not always. Direct types are informative and direct types. It's still hard to figure out what informative and direct, but still. What's up, Daniel McCurry? I think at one point loneliness is actually gonna hit me really hard. You're good, Daniel. But for now, I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. You never know, though. I think once I move out, it's gonna hit me really hard, to be honest with you. But honestly, I'm not too sure. I think mentally, I'm kind of lonely. Mentally lonely. Psychologically lonely, to be honest with you. Just being psychologically lonely, it's like putting a barrier between two people. But mentally, there's like a mental barrier between me and most of the people that I know. Sorry, not most of the people I know. Most of the close people that I know, besides like maybe a few people. Like, most of my friends keep me pretty sharp. My family really doesn't, though, to be perfectly honest with you. Psychologically speaking. That's kind of why I'm kind of learning all this stuff on my own. Because I need to build my own path. I have to be honest. There's no way I'm following anybody else's. Or anybody who's near me. I can't follow their path. You're 11? God. The age gap between some my viewers is kind of insane, or the viewers in general, to be honest with you. It's only because literally almost all my friends are intuitive types, and then all of my family are sensor types, which that makes a pretty big difference. I'm not saying sensors, it's just the way, it's just a different wavelength that's different. That's why it's so psychologically lonely or annoying at the same time. We're just on completely different wavelengths. It's kind of frustrating sometimes. It's like I can't explain them me because they wouldn't understand me. Even though I understand them fairly well. If you want to figure out your type, definitely look up CS Joseph type grid and then look up his video series of how to type yourself and others. If you want to figure out your type accurately, unlike other systems, to be honest with you. If you want to look more into the science, you can, but if you really just want to figure out your type, go ahead and look up that. Most accurate, even though there's a lot of hate for him. Definitely the most accurate system I have seen by far. It's way more consistent. I actually haven't seen anything infallible by it. I haven't seen anything fallible about it at the moment. There's only one argument against it. It's the fact that like it's technically metaphysical, so it doesn't exist in the real world. In a way, like physically, obviously metaphysics, but a lot of people want that physical proof of something actually existing, even though it's already been technically proven that it exists, even though it doesn't exist. That's the only thing. That's the only argument. Even then, it's still like if you just disclude that argument, literally I haven't seen any problems with the system. I have no idea. I think the only person in here that has a really good time zone for at least my mods is Gaming Master. He's the only one that has a pretty good time zone for my streams. Okay, go ahead. It's very useful to consume his content, to be honest with you. Because you won't get the full picture unless you kind of consume a lot of his content, to be honest with you. It took me a long time to fully understand these types. I'm still not that good at typing because I haven't practiced typing enough to be able to do it quickly, but at the moment, I guess I'm pretty decent at it without actually having a lot of practice. Even though I benefit a lot from practice, so that's going to be useful when I actually get to practice. I'm going to practice typing when I sell, like when I'm in sales. I'm going to try to practice typing then. It would be incredibly useful, because if I can figure out their type quickly, I can figure out how to sell to them or just understand them in general. I can kind of predict their behaviors in a way, understand how they buy, stuff like that. It'd be incredibly useful. It's also great for building rapport as well. That spilled so fast. Perfect. What's up, man with no name? 47. I have a video on why I did this actually, and my main motivation. Honestly, one of my biggest reasons though is because I wanted to do this, just because somebody else tried to do this and they took a big break. So I decided to do it myself, just because I wanted this project to be done. I know many other people wanted to see this project done, so I decided to do it. And my main motivation is literally just wanting to do this project. There really aren't any other reasons. Main reasons, at least. Literally, my motivation is literally just wanting to do the project. Because honestly, I don't know if there's any other reason you could do this project without wanting to do it. To be completely honest with you. It is 1:12 a.m. After I finish this layer, I'm gonna end the stream. I've done that like the past like 4 streams anyway, so I mean it's not that big of a deal. I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, I think. I could be completely wrong on that statistic on how long it's gonna take. But honestly, I actually don't know. God dang it, lost whatever. I literally actually don't care that much about these resources. I could technically just turn off loot drops, but obviously what's the heck is the fun in that? Without at least collecting a couple resources. I don't actually know, to be honest with you. I think it's just out of curiosity, to be honest with you. I think it's the only reason. It's kind of weird though, because certain types of people actually have their own voice. Like, I don't know, ESTJs or something like that. They always have that classic. All of them pretty much always have like a mediocre deep voice with like kind of monotone that I know of. Like, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, all types have this weird. Obviously, they have the same speech pattern as each other, but in terms of voice tone, actually, certain types have the same voice tone, which is weird. Like, all the types. It's like you would think that two different people would have two different voice tones, even though they're the same type, but no, not really. Oh, okay. Like my type, INFJ, look up, if you want to look up actually no, he kind of has this different voice. I forgot who it is. But like my type, as an INFJ, oh Jesus, has that weird, kind of highish, oh my god, highish pitch voice, but also very calming at the same time. Like generally that's a pattern. It's super weird. I don't know how to explain it. Generally speaking, I'm not saying all of them do, but like this is kind of a general trend. It's like we're literally designed to have that weird like whispery voice. It's really hard to explain, honestly. It's like a wispy voice. Favorite ice cream? That's hard for me to say. I do like pretty much all ice cream though, so I'm not very choosy, to be honest. It's probably my favorite dessert though, I'll tell you that much right now. It's like a weird type of, oh god. I don't really know how to explain it though, like it's like chill-ish voice, but like kinda nerdy voice at the exact same time. Think of that like classic nerdy like INTP voice where it's like super high pitch, but mix it with like a chill type of voice. I don't really know how to explain it, to be honest. God dang it. I mean, my voice is higher pitch in the mic, to be honest with you, compared to real life. The mic kind of pitches my voice slightly higher than it actually should be. So it's kind of skewed, obviously. I mean, it's a mic. I mean, it's not your actual voice, so. Oh, that was quick. Oh, I just hit 3 hours. That's good. Alright, that was pretty quick. Not gonna lie. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I'll see you guys. Filipinos food is food. I don't know. I think they're pretty picky sometimes, to be honest with you, especially since I have a Filipino friend. Sometimes, not always though. Obviously that depends on type as well. I mean, it's not really culturally divided in terms of type. To be honest with you. But other cultures actually have more cognitive focus on different types than others, which is kind of annoying. Especially since the US is SJ focused.